There's something subtle, almost conspiratorial, about watching an entire city transform just after sunset. You walk into St. Augustine on any given night, and the glow starts to build. The rooflines, the Spanish colonial facades, the bridges, the palm trees, every architectural detail wrapped in white lights. Nights of Lights isn't just one display. It's a season-long performance. From mid-November through the early days of the new year, the nation's oldest city becomes one of the world's most magical holiday light shows. But magic costs effort, because there are crowds, traffic, weather, lines at restaurants. If you've never navigated Nights of Lights, think of this as your playbook. How to arrive, see the lights, eat, dodge the worst of the chaos, and leave confident you got exactly what you came for. Light Up Night is opening night. It's when St. Augustine officially flips the switch, and the entire plaza on King Street becomes the center of gravity. The official lighting happens around 6:30, but the city begins to fill hours before that. If you take one thing from this episode, let it be this: arrive early. 4 o'clock is ideal. 5 o'clock is pushing it. By 6, the roads in and out of downtown are barely crawling. I learned this lesson the hard way. One year I tried to time it perfectly, leave to land after lunch, slide in by dinner. Instead, I sat on King Street watching the sun set through my windshield. By the time I reached downtown, dinner had become an afterthought. So now I plan differently. A late lunch, a stroll through the plaza, a coffee in hand as the crowd begins to gather. Around sunset, you can see and hear the shift. Guitars tuning, the crowd tightening, that hum that always comes before something communal. And when the lights finally blink on, it's not just a switch, it's a gasp. The whole city glows at once, and for a second, even the locals forget how many times they've seen it. Now let's talk logistics. On Light Up Night and on select Saturdays in December, the city operates free park and ride shuttles. They start around 1 p.m. and run until 11. The big pickup spots are just outside the historic core. Places like the St. Johns County Health Department on San Sebastian View, Browdy's Lot on West King Street, and the San Marco Lot north of downtown. Each one feeds into the Visitor Information Center right in the middle of everything. If you're coming from Anastasia Island, the city even adds an island route on Light Up Night, with pickups at Anastasia Baptist Church and R.B. Hunt Elementary. It's a small miracle of planning because once the Bridge of Lions jams, it's done for the evening. Use the shuttles if you can. Eat early, bring layers. November nights can dip into the 60s, and the wind off the bay can surprise you. And if you're here mainly for photos, take a deep breath. The lights aren't going anywhere. You'll have plenty of time to get that perfect shot. By mid-December, Nights of Light settles into a rhythm. The weekends swell, the weekdays breathe, and the city becomes both dazzling and demanding. If you can, come midweek, say a Tuesday or Wednesday in early December. You'll see everything with half the crowd. Same lights, less chaos. Even the team members at local restaurants seem less frantic. But if you end up here on a weekend, plan like a local. The most intense traffic begins around 5 p.m. Saturday, when visitors from Jacksonville, Daytona, and the beaches all descend at once. The Bridge of Lions slows to a crawl. King Street turns red with brake lights. It's not personal, it's physics. That's why those shuttles matter. They're not glamorous, but they save your sanity. They run most Saturdays, 1 to 11, and they're free. You park, you ride, you get dropped right downtown without paying the $20 garage fee or circling side streets praying for a meter. And if there's no shuttle the night you visit, Uber and Lyft both work here reliably. Yes, prices surge a little, but that's a small price for avoiding the gridlock. Some visitors park near the San Sebastian Winery or along West King Street and walk in. The city's compact, well lit, and surprisingly walkable once you're out of traffic. The biggest secret: don't rush to leave. At 9 o'clock, when the tree lights have been admired, the selfies are done, and everyone heads for the exits at once. That's when the really big jam begins. Stay put, order dessert, wander the side streets, let time pass. Around 10, the city is finally able to exhale again. The streets quiet down, the bay reflects the lights in long, trembling ribbons. And suddenly you realize this is the part the crowds never see. There are dozens of ways to experience Nights of Lights, but the trick is to choose the one that fits your mood. If you want narration and comfort, the Old Town Trolley's famous Nights of Lights tour is the classic choice. It leaves from the Visitor Information Center every evening, offers the history, and loops through the main corridors of downtown. If you prefer a little whimsy, Ripley's Red Train Tour is more playful. Bells, carols, laughter echoing down the narrow streets. But the best moments, at least in my experience, are the ones you don't have to buy a ticket for. Stand in the plaza right after sunset, when the cathedral's bell tower glows above the Christmas tree, and the air smells faintly of cinnamon from the vendors. Then walk toward the bayfront. The light bouncing off the water there is hypnotic. The reflection doubles the glow. If you have the chance, take a harbor cruise, seeing the city from the water with the Bridge of Lions in front of you and the bay behind. It's the quiet side of the celebration. The wind, the salt, the soft hum of the boat motor. It's a memory that stays long after you've gone home. And somewhere in between all of that, find dinner that suits your pace. The restaurants near the plaza are usually packed, but head to some of the smaller side streets and you'll find places like Trailer Park, DJ's Clam Shack, and our favorite, Barley Republic, all places with solid food in an unpretentious atmosphere. So here's the truth about Nights of Lights. It's not just a festival. It's a rhythm. The lights are the headline, but the pauses, the quiet in between, that's what makes it unforgettable. If you plan ahead, arrive early, dress in layers, and give yourself permission to linger, you won't just see the lights. You'll experience firsthand the city breathing under them. And when it's over, when you cross back over the Bridge of Lions and look in the rearview mirror, you'll catch one last flicker of the glow and maybe realize that St. Augustine, at least for a few months each year, found a way to be timeless. Thank you so much for joining me, and remember, you can take this podcast with you on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or wherever you listen. Let it ride along as you park, walk, and wander through the glow. Because wherever you go, especially if it's St. Augustine, take the story with you.